Once upon a time in the 17th century, the world was still trapped by the power of muscles, horses, wind, and rivers. England's coal mines kept flooding with water and had to be abandoned. Humanity needed a new force, tireless, unstoppable, one that never slept. And from fire and water was born the engine that changed everything, the steam engine. It all began in 1698 with Thomas Savery. He invented the miner's friend, a machine that used steam to create a vacuum and suck water out of flooded mines. It was dangerous, exploded frequently, and consumed enormous amounts of coal, but it saved dozens of mines. Savery opened the doors to a revolution no one could yet imagine.
Object apart! Steam pressure mounts, threatening explosion. A perilous invention.
In 1712, Thomas Newcomen made a major breakthrough. His atmospheric engine was a giant structure of wood and iron, with a huge beam moving up and down like the arm of a titan. It worked better than Savery's machine, but it was still extremely inefficient, burning a fortune in coal. Even so, hundreds of Newcomen engines were built across English mines. In 1763, a young Scottish instrument maker named James Watt received a Newcomen engine to repair at the University of Glasgow. While working on it, he noticed the massive waste of energy. The cylinder was constantly being heated and cooled. Watt had a brilliant idea that would change history forever, separating the condenser from the cylinder, keeping the cylinder permanently hot. In 1769, Watt registered his first revolutionary patent. The new engine consumed up to 75% less coal. Then came another genius invention, the rotary motion mechanism, transforming the up and down movement into continuous rotation. Now, steam could spin wheels, looms, mills, and entire factories. Watt found the perfect partner, industrialist Matthew Boulton of Birmingham. Together they created Boulton and Watt, a company that manufactured and licensed steam engines. They fought fierce legal battles against patent thieves and imitators. Their engine soon became a symbol of efficiency and power.
The alignment on these pistons must be exact. Agreed, a fraction off and efficiency plummets. The valve gear next. Test the seals.
Curiosity. James Watt had never even entered a coal mine until adulthood. He was a man of precision, an instrument maker who worked with clocks and scientific tools. Another little-known fact. He struggled with depression and health problems throughout his life, yet his persistence became legendary. With Watt's engine, factories no longer depended on rivers or waterfalls. They could be built anywhere. Production of cotton, iron, ceramics, and coal exploded. England transformed into the workshop of the world. The Industrial Revolution was accelerating. Hello. If you're watching this story in a short, I invite you to watch the full story on the channel. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and check the link below if you'd like to support us. Steam soon reached transportation. In 1804, Richard Trevithick built the first practical steam locomotive. Although it failed some early tests, it opened the path forward. In 1829, George Stephenson introduced the rocket, which won the famous Rainhill trials and proved that steam-powered trains were truly viable. Railroads changed the world forever. Goods could travel faster, cities grew along the tracks, and people moved to industrial centers for work. Time and distance were suddenly compressed. The world would never be slow again. Ships also embraced steam power. In 1807, Robert Fulton's Clermont sailed along the Hudson River. Giant paddle wheels turned while steam poured from its chimneys. Transatlantic navigation became faster and more reliable. Global trade exploded. A fascinating fact. James Watt created the term horsepower to compare the strength of his engines to that of horses. It's a unit we still use today in cars and motors. Watt also patented several innovations and continuously improved the engine's speed. Governor. Not everything was victory. Workers feared the machines. The Luddite movement destroyed looms and engines out of fear of unemployment. There were uprisings, terrible accidents, and deadly boiler explosions. Progress came with a heavy price. Watt and Boulton became wealthy, but they faced financial crises, patent piracy, and constant health struggles. James Watt lived until 1819 and died rich and respected. Today, his name lives on in the unit of power, the Watt W. The steam engine enabled massive urbanization, cities expanded, populations increased, and the industrial working class was born. Modern industrial capitalism emerged from this era. Without steam, the modern age as we know it would never have existed. Another little-known curiosity. During the Industrial Revolution, steam engines were used in theaters to create smoke effects and moving scenery. They were also used in sawmills, flour mills, and even newspaper printing presses. By the 19th century, steam crossed oceans and continents. Railways connected Europe and the United States. The locomotive became a symbol of progress itself. Films, books, and paintings portrayed the iron monster breathing smoke across the land. In Brazil, steam arrived with the country's first railway in 1854, the Mauá Railway. English locomotives helped transport coffee and opened paths into the interior of the nation. Steam power also transformed navigation along the Amazon River. Final curiosity. James Watt improved his engine so many times that his notebooks became priceless treasures of engineering. He also invented a document copying machine and studied chemistry and astronomy. The steam engine became the foundation for electricity generation. Steam turbines still produce a large portion of the world's energy today. In thermal plants, nuclear plants, and even concentrated solar facilities. The principle remains alive. From Newcomen's clumsy machine to Watt's elegant rotary engine, from the coal-covered miner to trains crossing continents, the steam engine was the fire that ignited the modern world. It transformed humanity from servant of nature into its master. Today, whenever we start a car, use a smartphone, or turn on a light, we are indirectly connected to the engine that James Watt perfected more than 250 years ago. Steam still pulses in the heart of civilization, the end, or perhaps the beginning of a new age of steam and progress. Hello. If you're watching this story in a short, I invite you to watch the full story on the channel. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and check the link below if you'd like to support us.